Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to another Microsoft Flight Simulator video. And if you watched the Spitfire video that I did a few days ago, there's a link to that coming up in the top right hand corner. You'll have heard me saying there that I was going to try to teach myself how to use the big passenger jets. And I took myself at my own word and went off and watched a couple of videos, because here we are in the Airbus A320. I'm in the Jet 2 livery, thanks to one of our subscribers, Farah, for the suggestion. The sale was on, as I mentioned last time, and I got 200 liveries, 200 different liveries for the A320, which is a standard aircraft in the game, by the way. I got those for about £4.19, and what I decided to do was teach myself a little bit about how to get from A to B in one of these Airbus 320s, and how to land it properly, to try and do an ILS landing. So this could go either way. You know, don't use this as a training video by any means. This is purely about getting A to B and getting the thing down on the carpet, as the RAF slang used to go. So, just to give myself a little bit of a sort of target, what I did was I kind of flew the route that I did on holiday last year. So I went from Manchester to Majorca to Palma, and that's what we're doing here. So right behind me, that's the coast of Spain, and Barcelona is right there on that coast, and we are headed across. You can just about see the terrain there of Palma. Let's jump back in, and I didn't record the majority of the flight because I wanted really to capture the landing, and I'm a complete noob at this. I've done one or two landings. Something's gone wrong each time. Why don't we just give it a go and we'll see what's going on. So if we just quickly come down here is the little sort of map that we've got going on. I would tell you what that instrument is called, but I can't actually remember the official name for it. But you can see what it's doing there. You can see how it's going to guide us in. We're approaching the waypoint, which is Corda, and then we've got the deceleration waypoint there, which all line up, by the way. Excuse me, to the waypoints that we've got here. You can see Corda is coming up. We need to be at 11,300 feet, and we are at 11,300 feet just now, so that's good. Once we pass Corda, once we get to ADX, we need to be at 5,000 feet, then 3,600, then 1,900. So this is the descent into Palma. So that's the plan. Whether it works like that, I don't know. We'll find out, won't we? Anyway, let's have a quick look again outside at the Jet 2 livery, which did come as part of that pack. It's quite nice. And I've of course got my own registration there on the back. That's quite nice. It's quite there's a number of Jet 2 liveries. There's two different liveries. And they come with the different engine sounds. There's some different engine sounds for the Airbus, as I understand it from looking at what's available. But this is the one that I flew on last year, so I thought I'd recreate this one. We've got the aircraft controlling the speed at 240 on the autopilot. As I said, the altitude 11,000 feet. Everything is where it should be right now, and we just need to get this 3 nautical miles, and then it will guide us to the next waypoint where we would start to decelerate. Now, ADX is the next waypoint after this. Let's just have a look on the map. There's ADX, you can see it there. So we decelerate when we get that's the radius. The 40 miles decel is 40 miles away. So that's when we need to decelerate. But by the time we get to ADX, we need to be down to 5,000 feet. Now, if you leave these prompts on, you can see in front 5,000 feet is shown. So you know what? I'm going to do this early because we do not want to leave it too late and then have some problems. So we need to go down to 5,000. So let me first bring that down to 0, and then if we change this to the thousands, we'll start letting the airplane. Let me just pull that out. There we go. That'll start the airplane off to descend us to 5,000. So best to do that as early as possible. Now the range of this screen here, you can change that. At the moment, it's showing us 80 miles in front. So I think we will we'll make that 40 miles in front. So we just need to carry on until here, and then I'm going to reduce the speed. We're going at 240 knots at the moment, so I'm going to reduce the speed once we get to that point, so we can kind of just chill out a little bit. I'm not feeling very chilled though. The thing is that I am a complete noob to this, but the exciting thing about this sim is that it doesn't really matter. You can do as little or as much as you want, and bit by bit I'm taking off the assists. I've not got any of the flying assists on, none of the cheats. I'm using the autopilot obviously because that's what you need to do, but none of the settings are on. I've got, you know, like visual markers like the one you can see in front. I've got that switched on. That just makes sense until you get used to what's going on. But actually, you know, flying the aircraft is all down to me. So it's just about experimenting and trying a few things. As I said, I've tried a couple of landings. The landings have kind of gone all right, but you know, it's just getting it lined up perfectly is the trick. And there's a lot of instrumentation to sort of get right and set and etc. etc. Anyway. We got 41 miles until we get to ADX, which is our next waypoint. So ADX is at, so the total distance that I've done, 877 miles. I think that is telling me nautical miles. ADX is at 858. Then we need to get down quickly in 3 miles for the next one. So you know what, I should actually come down, I think I should come down lower than the 5,000. Now that could be a mistake. If you play this properly, that could be a mistake. However, I want to make sure that I'm down in good time. So you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to reduce it. I'm going to reduce it by another 1,000. Let me just pull that out. Just make sure that says it does. It says 4,000 there. And hopefully then we haven't got any surprises, because there isn't a lot of time. As I just bring you in again to look at this screen, there isn't a lot of time there once we get to ADX to lose that 1,400 feet. And then again, once we get to 063 CS, we've got to be at 1,900 feet. So, yeah. There's a trick there, but we'll give it a go. We'll need to start putting the landing lights on when we get a little bit nearer, but we'll work that out. This is the edge of Majorca that you can see coming up in front of us. As we start to level out, you can see the plane starting to level. And we're buffeting up and down a little bit. Let's just go back inside. We're starting to get to the deceleration point. It's routing us around these. I've got the terrain switched on there on the screen on the right. You can see it. And it's routing us around those mountains, but let's just check this out. How many miles until we decelerate? Well, it's less than 20, so we could do that now. And once again, I think that I will do that. So I'm going to bring the speed down, which is done over here. I'm going to bring it down to about 190, because I'm going to start to need to put flaps in. Oh, hang on, this is where it all goes wrong. It's tricky to keep that little arrow there. It's tricky to keep that on there. Do what I mean? I keep moving off it. I want to get down to 190. Oh my god, I'm terrible. Come on. You just to click it each time. I think you can leave it. Actually, you can leave your finger on it. Let's do that, shall we? Right, so if I put it down to about there, and then I pull that out, you can see the speed, the airspeed's going down now. So that's good. And then I'm looking for when I can put the flaps in, which it tells us on the left hand side. As you can see, the speed's dropping. When you see the little marker, you can put the first flap in there. So I'm going to do that. So keeping an eye on things. 22 miles to go. Getting nervous now. So I'm going to put the flaps in. You can do this with a controller, or you can do it down here. That's the landing gear. The flaps are here. If I could just point them out. Those are the flaps. So I'm going to do that with the controller. Okay, that's cool. That's looking good. Speed's 189. That's all right. I think what I'm going to do is go to 180. Again, I think probably you don't need to do this early, but I'm just preparing. And the more I do this, then obviously the better. Right, get that to 180. I'm going to put a second stage of flapping once I get down to this, 180. There we are, 180 right now. Let's, yeah, that's fine. Let's get the second stage of flapping. There it goes. Right, cool. Okay, we're getting prepared. Those are the mountains in front of us. Let's just check how we're doing speed-wise. So we have decelerated a little bit before we need to, but I'm alright with that. And when we hit that decel point, I think what I'll do is I'll go to 160 and then flap 3 is what I'll do. It's all coming into view now. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Because it's going to turn us right into the runway, you see. So we need to have the speed down, because we need to be landing about 139, 140 as I understand it. So we're just about reaching the deceleration point. So let's go to 160. Around that. Okay, cool. That's good. And once we get to 160, where we are now, we can put in another stage of flap. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on this ILS, so it'll look for the ILS. It's picked it up there. And then what we need to do is we need to, if I just zoom in again. There's a lot of looking at the controls, isn't there? So what I'm looking for is this horizontal diamond to intercept that yellow line. And then when it does, I hit the localizer button, and that will direct us straight to the runway. Then the diamond up here will then come down, and when that intercepts that yellow line, I can press the approach button. And what that will do is then it will hit the glide slope, I should say, and drop us right in. That's the theory. So I'm keeping an eye on those magenta diamonds there at the bottom. But for now, here we are. Yeah, it's turning, as you see. It's turning us, which is what we would expect. So I think what I'm going to do early is put the gear down. So there's the gear coming down. The other thing that I'm going to do is to switch on the landing lights. No, I don't want to retract them. I want to put them on. So come up here. How's that going up there? Ah, there we go. Right, landing lights are on. That's good. I'm going to set this auto brake to medium. That will help us once we're on the ground. I need to... Let me just double check here. We need to be at 3,600 and then 1,900. You know what? I'm going to go for the 1,900 right away. So... let's do that, and then we'll switch to that. We'll go to the 1900. Let's see how we're doing with the diamonds. So you can see the glide slope is coming up, but we haven't yet. I think it's because of the height. We haven't yet picked up the localizer. So hopefully it does that, and then, you know, we're not doing too bad then. Yeah, cool. So there it is, Palma. I'm gonna zoom in here on this range, so we've got it on 10 miles so we can see where we're going. It's turning us in there to the left. I'm still looking for those diamonds. We're going down to 1,900 here. This is where it all gets a little bit nerve-wracking. I'm going to do something that's wrong. I think once it lines us up, we'll get the bottom diamond there. Speed's good. We're just making a slight turn inward. Still getting the speed off, as you can see, just coming through 4,000. In fact, I'm going to check that speed because I'm not entirely sure that it is doing the speed for us. Sorry, not the speed, the altitude. I'll just check that again. That's better. Now it's dropping the speed. You can see the vertical speed's dropping quite rapidly. That's what we were missing. So I will just come up to this point. Need to get that speed off. So what I'm meant to do is look on a chart, and for the localizer there's a certain height you have to be to pick up the localizer, which I must not be at that correct speed yet, although I think the diamond is moving slightly. What it'll do is it'll turn us to the left and should line us up. Again, that's the theory. As the title of the video suggests, this is about getting it on the carpet. That's what we intend to do. So let's just take a look outside. The airport is over there. So you can hear the engines going up and down as it manages the speeds and the height. The altitude, we're coming up to 2,000 feet. Starting to get the warnings. That's where you know it's all going to get a bit nervy. Once we reach this waypoint, we'll start to turn around to our left. So don't forget, I've only watched literally a couple of videos on this on YouTube. There's some very good videos actually. I've watched a couple of these, so you know I know there's a few of you that are experts. I am a complete noob. Literally, this is the first time I've flown this week. So let's see how we do. So there's the waypoint you see for the 1900 feet. We're already at the 1900 feet because we prepared a little bit early. We're turning into it now. Let's just take a quick look outside. So it's going to line us up. Once we get to that waypoint, we'll turn further to the left. And we need to drop to around 139, 140 for the actual landing speed wise. So again, once we're lined up, we'll do that. What I should do is press B, which will just alter our pressure setting so that we get the right height. You see it's changed now. We do not want to be the wrong height above sea level. That will not do us any good. So we're going to start the turn across now to the left. There's the runway ahead of us, as you can see. So you see the diamond at the bottom is starting to come across. When it intercepts that yellow line, which it's just about to, we will get the localizer. I think we can pretty much just about do that now. So that's the localizer, and then we're waiting for the vertical diamond here to get into the yellow, and then we can hit the approach button as well. So what I'm going to do is lose some height again. So let's just come over here. Let me just have a look what it's telling me down here. 1700. So let's actually just go down to 1500. You can see the diamond now coming down. The diamond is starting to come down. Let's just pull that out. There we go. So this diamond is coming down. When the diamond crosses this yellow line, we're on the glide slope. So that is the correct angle to drop down. And then we need to click the approach button once we get there. So speed, I'm going to bring down to 139 or thereabouts. That will do us. So the speed should start to come off. The diamond's not yet crossing the yellow line, but it's about to. There we go. So we'll put the approach mode on. So now it is putting us on the glide slope. So it will start to drop us down exactly at the correct angle, the correct height that we need to be. The speed for the landing should be 139. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the full flap, which will just help slow us down. There we go. We've already got the auto brake. We've got the speed brake. We can set the speed brake. Don't actually know the correct setting for that, but we're coming down to 1500. We got set to 1500, I should say, but the glide slope is controlling us. So can you see it's coming down now on its own? So the diamonds are all in the right place. The gear is down. There's the runway. This is where it gets exciting. Now, about 1,000 feet, you're meant to take off the autopilot. Right, so I'm going to take it off now. So that beep tells me I'm in control now. So I need to make sure that we stay lined up now. I've got the real weather on, so we could be in a little bit of a crosswind. 200. There you go, 200. We're going to flare it right at the end. 100, 60, 50, 40, 30. This is the moment. 20. So, we're going to flare it. Retard. There we are, retard. So let's do that. And we're down. We are down. So, what we need to do is take off the engines. That will help. And we need to get the speed down. So we're meant to go up to the right there, so I was slightly speeding. It doesn't matter, we'll pick it up down here. Let's get the speed off, shall we? We'll pop outside. Set the flaps to ground configuration. There's our taxi ribbon that we've got. So we're going to go up and pull over. I'm going to show you something else neat that I've learnt this week that I didn't know you could do, because I haven't used these type of aircraft. So I was really pleased at this next bit. I know you guys have been playing this and thinking, what is he talking about? Why is he so excited about this? But it's the first time you discover things, you know, in the sim. Let's retract all the flaps, shall we? We need a little bit more power, or I don't want to go too crazy on it. There we go. We clear the active runway, so that's good. So it works, doesn't it? It does work. And the more of these flights you do, the easier it'll become. And I know I probably didn't do it all in order, and if you guys are watching and you were watching that thinking you should have done this first, you should have done this first, by all means leave me a comment, because I'm quite happy to get it right, you know. So if you do quite a few of these, let me know in the comments, and I'll keep practicing. But now I can do this, I can go pretty much wherever I want in the sim, which I'm quite looking forward to, because I've been flying mainly around the UK in the general aviation aircraft. So this helps me get out and about somewhere else, which I'm really looking forward to. So I've really quite enjoyed this, but we're going to pull up to the stand and I'll show you the other cool stuff that I wanted to show you. So we'll follow this around. I don't know, actually, this is the first time I've landed here in the sim, so I don't know how far it is to the actual gate, but we'll find out. But yeah, thanks again to Farah for suggesting these liveries, because I can basically pick a different one every single time. But I thought I'll go with this one because this is what I flew on last year, so, and on this run, so it's been really good. So I'm just feathering the power, which will get us back to the gate. If I put too much in, I will be I'll be off taking off again, I think. So I'll just do it very carefully. I mean, this in itself, if you know the airport, obviously you don't need the taxi ribbon on, but it's an assist that makes sense to me. It doesn't matter at all to me that I've got that on. The flying, getting the flying right to me is the most important at this stage. I can learn different airports as I go, so. Right, well, that AI there should wait for me, shouldn't he? He shouldn't get me to wait, should he? Oh, look at him, there he goes. Oh god, what's this guy gonna do? No, stay, stay, stay. Oh, straight underneath me. Oh dear me. Oh well. You didn't see that. They're obviously oblivious to what's going on, aren't they? Let's just pop back in whilst we're doing this. I'm going to need to feather it again. So again, this is another skill. Taxiing's another skill. Getting the speed right without overdoing it. And of course turning it as well. As you see how fast now I'm actually going. This is the gate. So let me get some brake in. And we can do this turn a little bit tighter. We do not want to do what happened at Heathrow earlier this week and two planes collide with each other whilst they're taxiing. That wouldn't be any good. I must tell you as well, I don't know the correct startup procedure yet for this Airbus or the correct shutdown procedure, so I'm probably gonna butcher the shutdown as well. But we'll do what we can. Let's just give that final little bit of power. And get lined up with the nose. Now, I don't know if that's the correct position or not, but we'll take it. Right, so this is what I wanted to show you. I don't think this is going to work because we're too far away, but if you go up to the ATC and I don't know the difference, but if we go to the ground, let's go to ground services. Right, so here we go. So, first of all, shall we get the power supply? So here comes a little guy so that we can turn the engines off. He's going to plug the battery in, which is quite neat. What we can also do is we can request everybody's baggage gets taken off. There they go, look. Going to come out to the aircraft. There's the battery coming underneath. There's the hold opening on the side. And all the baggage is going to be coming out of there. And then the other thing we can do is, well, it says we can request the jetway, but I think we're maybe a bit too far out for the jetway, which we'll try it, shall we? So here it comes. I think we're a bit too far away. So I don't know about that. It's going to have to be a long one. We're probably meant to be on the yellow line. And that's why. Yeah, there you go. That's as far as it's going. Okay, so the people are not getting off because we parked a bit. Yeah, there we go. Gate 44, and we're not even on it properly. It's not clever enough to do it. But anyway, let's go inside, shall we? And we can turn off some of these lights. The strobe light, that's on auto. The wing lights can go off. The navigation lights can go off. The runway lights. I should have had the taxi lights on. Oh, they were on. There you go. Off now. So let's shut down the power. External power is available because they plugged it in. Let's turn off the generators. And then the batteries. there must be something else I need to do to make it start. What else do I need to do? These are inoperative. Ah, there we go. I need to set that back. There we go. And that's the end of the flight. The actual whole flight itself to get from Manchester to Palma in Majorca was 2 hours 11 and 36 seconds. And I did it. I did it. And I landed properly with an ILS landing. We got it down on the carpet. And you know what? I really enjoyed that. So thank you everybody for joining me for the scariest part of the tour to Palma. Hope you've enjoyed it. Do leave me a like and a comment. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care everybody and bye for now.